All right, y'all, here I come. Had to get me some water. Oh, shit. So, as we know, Trump ain't playing with the people. He ain't playing with the people. So, on Christmas Day, he did an airstrike on Nigeria on the persecution of Christians. And some people were outraged about that. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. But some Christians, the Nigerian Christians who have been massacred in Nigeria for many years, they called on Trump. That pastor pleaded for Trump to come help them. And they showed mass graves, and it brought me to tears. So let's get the update on what's happening in Nigeria. Oh shit. What am I doing? The United States says that it has carried out an airstrike against ISIS, because it is ISIL, and then ISIS fighters in northwest Nigeria that residents say caused buildings to shake and the sky to glow red. Tonight, at my director as Commander in Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against the ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria. President Trump said in a post on his Truth Social platform, he had previously threatened greater U.S. intervention in Nigeria over dubious claims that a genocide of Christians is taking place there. Said ISIL fighters had been viciously killing and targeting Christians at levels unseen for centuries. I have previously warned these terrorists that if they do not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there will be hell to pay, and tonight there was. The U.S. military's Africa Command, AFRICOM, which is responsible for operations in Africa, said in a post on X that the airstrike was carried out at the request of Nigerian authorities and had killed multiple ISIS terrorists. Residents of Jabo have said that the strikes caused alarm and that their village has never experienced an attack by ISIL. As it approached our area, the heat became intense. Our baker, Sonny, who lives just a few houses from the scene of the explosion, our rooms began to shake and then fire broke out. The Nigerian government appropriate measures to protect the citizens. We have never experienced anything like this before. I'm sure when a bomb dropped. Another resident, 40-year-old farmer, Sansu, hey E Crunk official, what's up? Said the attacks made the night sky glow red and appear almost like daytime. Grateful for Nigerian government support and cooperation, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, or the Department of War, wrote on social media warning almost more to come without providing details. In a statement, AFRICOM said the strike occurred in Sokoto State in apparent reference to Nigeria's Sokoto State. Nigerian Prime Minister Yusuf Tugar confirmed that the strike had been carried out in coordination with the country's authorities. See, I didn't know that part. That Nigerian authorities, I didn't know that part, but said it was not aimed at targeting members of any particular religious community. Nigeria is a multi religious country, and we're working with partners like the U.S. to fight terrorism, protect lives, and property. Now, this Al Jazeera, who I'm getting this information from, The U.S. military action comes weeks after Trump said he partnered with the Pentagon to begin planning for military action in Nigeria following claims of Christian persecution. Nigeria's government had dismissed Trump's armed target both Muslim and Christian leaders in the country, and the U.S. claimed that Christians face persecution do not represent a complex security situation. Yes, did that they was crying out, was in tears when I watched that shit. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs issued a statement shortly after Trump announced the U.S. strike, confirming that Nigerian authorities were engaged in structured security cooperation with international partners, including the United States of America, in addressing the persistent threat of terrorism and violent extremism. Damn, I did not even know they was in coordinate. Hey, Haley, how you doing, love? Damn, that's something I'm just learning. Why Donald Trump is threatening military intervention in Nigeria, what it means for the government. Alabuka Bapabala, however you say his name, he wrote that Trump's actions and rhetoric mark a shift in U.S. Africa policy, which also aims to appeal to his domestic consistency. He argues that the Nigerian government should view Washington's call for intervention as an opportunity to strengthen its national security jointly with the U.S. Nigeria is a troubled nation in West Africa, the most populous black nation in the world, and has a population of 230 million, who are roughly divided between Christians in the south and Muslims in the north. It also has a long history of terrorism. It does. And crisis involving killing of Christians, especially in North Africa or Nigeria. According to a report by the International Society for Civil Liberties, about 52,000 Christians have been massacred by Islamic radicals over the last 14 years. Despite glaring evidence of decades of persecution of Christians in the country, the Nigerian government, led by President Tinubu, has denied that targeting widespread killing of Christians, which some has termed as Christian genocide, within its territory. To counter this claim, the Nigerian government has instead mounted and sponsored propaganda to deny the atrocities against Christians in the country. Political commentator and social media influencer Reno Omokri has downplayed claims by the U.S. Senator Ted Cruz that the Nigerian government is complicit. It is, and it was, that to the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, describing the accusation as ludicrous and based on misinformation. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs denied allegations that the government is supporting and aiding what has termed as a Christian genocide. Despite these narratives of propaganda and denial, Donald Trump redesignated Nigeria as a country of particular concern for persecution of Christians by violent Islamic groups. He requested a fact-finding mission led by Riley Moore, a member of the U.S. House Appropriation Committee from West Virginia, regarding military intervention to protect their cherished Christians in Nigeria. And y'all say he racist. I'm just saying. In a Truth Social post, Trump hinted that the U.S. will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into the country's guns ablazing, and that military intervention would be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attacked our cherished Christians. Trump also told the Pentagon about a possible military intervention in Nigeria if the government fails to stop the killing of Christians. Secretary of State Marco Rubio supported Trump's designation of Nigeria as a country of concern However, the declaration of Nigeria as the seed country of concern by Trump marks a bold shift in U.S. policy, advocated by the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa. So that's what all about. I'm just gonna get into the videos. Let me yeah, I got a lot of videos on Nigeria. All right, here we go. Man, and if go first to the okay, let me go here.
Well, Trump just bombed northern Nigeria, where for over a decade Christians have been massacred. There's a genocide happening, and we know the attacks are coming. We knew this Christian state was coming, and nothing was being done. And it wasn't an attack by ISIS or Fulani. You know who it was? It was the U.S. government. For people like you who have him, people like us who stood up for our brothers and sisters in Christ in Nigeria and said, guess what? There are all these rights. They live in a different continent, but we stand for them. And Trump just try it again, Boko Haram. Try it again, Fulani. You see, this has been going on for too long. And as Christians, we should never be vengeful. But we do protect our own. We do protect the least of these. We do protect those who are being led away to the slaughter. And right now, we just sent a strong message. So thank you, President Trump, because a blessing for Nigeria, a blessing for America, a blessing for Christians worldwide. Well, Trump just bombed northern Nigeria.
Amen.
Well,
breaking moments ago, President Trump announcing a powerful strike against the Islamic State in Nigeria. Let's go back to Madison Scarpino live in West Palm Beach with the breaking news.
Yeah, Mike, President Trump says that strike was deadly, and he says it's because they've been targeting and viciously killing primarily Christians. Now, he just made the announcement on Truth Social saying in part, quote, I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughter of Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes as only the United States is capable of doing. Under my leadership, our country will not allow Islamic terrorism to prosper. God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues.
Breaking President Trump announcing a power.
That's gangster.
Donald Trump and the United States just launched a strike against deadly terrorists in Nigeria. Watch this.
Moments ago, President Trump announcing a powerful strike against the Islamic State in Nigeria. Let's go back to Madison Scarpino live at West Palm Beach with the breaking details.
Yeah, my president says that strike was deadly, and he says it's been targeting and vicious.
Okay, she just played that, so that's a replay. So we just gonna delete that.
Merry Christmas, and thank you to Donald Trump for executing the attacks on those who have killed Christians for far too long in Nigeria. I want to bring to your attention an email in the United States who's just as bad. Who was dedicated to who ISIS has also tried to trade twice for her release. Because she is the terrorist who's responsible for the World Trade Center attacks. An imam in Dallas, Texas, who is one of the most known Muslims in this country that advocates for the same exact release that ISIS does. He's a terrorist, and you need to respond to allegations, because I don't think people in America are going to take too kindly the fact that you are just as wicked as the terrorists who Donald Trump
I didn't even know that was happening down in Texas. Damn. There's so much going on. Oh shit. Now this broke my heart.
Please take Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's another way to do it.
Please take Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's another way to do it. But when I first heard it, I was in tears. I really was. It upset me
To
so.
all my friends in Nigeria, I told you it wasn't if. I told you it was when Donald Trump is going to drop on the ISIS terror that are taking care in your beautiful country. Let me be the first one to tell all of my Nigerian brothers and sisters over there, Merry, Merry Christmas. As breaking news just coming in that the United States of America, led by our very own incredible president, Donald J. Trump, has just launched airstrikes in northwest Nigeria, targeting ISIS militants accused of taking the lives of Christians. Donald Trump just announced that further attacks will continue if violence continues on innocent Christians. As we believe my message, that radical Islamic terrorists are not going to exist in this world any further. You guys are finished. It is done. It is over. And there will be no hiding it. It doesn't matter where you exist. Whether you're over there in Nigeria, hiding out in Syria, over to Iran, over to the United Kingdom with your disgusting, corrupt, 100% having caused treason. Your Prime Minister Starmer, you hunted down and you will be taken out. Members of the Donald Trump administration want to wish everybody in Nigeria Merry Christmas. And around the world,
He did just that.
Breaking moments ago, President Trump announcing a powerful strike against the Islamic State in Nigeria. Let's go back to Madison Scarpino,
Oh,
West
shoot, I
Palm
think I
Beach.
got that already. Yep. So I ain't got to play that again. You can delete that.
we're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about, and may very well go into that disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities. I'm hereby instructing possible action. If the attack will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. These are cherished people. These are great people. Leave them alone.
Wow. That was a warning from Donald Trump in the past. He was warning the Nigerian government to do something about the Christian persecution, but they did not listen. So today, December 25th, on Christmas, Donald Trump has sent out deadly airstrikes in northwest Nigeria against the ISIS terrorists over there. Man, and you know, the Bible tells us vengeance is mine and I shall repay. And when the Lord brings vengeance, someone is going to be eradicated. You know, when God brings judgment, you know, he's going to bring justice. And sometimes that justice is taking out the opposing force. The Bible says in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 35, vengeance is mine and recompense. Their foot shall slip in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things to come hasten upon time. So, like the Bible says, the battle is mine and the victory is yours. The Lord fights our battles, and sometimes the way he responds, he's going to respond with just a force that cannot be reckoned with.
We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy.
There goes the bomb. Wow. He was dropping them bombs.
Key. But I remember a month ago, that very government denied that there was even a problem in their country. So what changed?
Working with the Nigerian government is key because it's not like the United States start intelligence agencies identify this is where the planners and this is where the attackers area, a safe haven. And so when they took them out, in terms of past statements by the Nigerian president, part of that is obviously political, but it is a tough decision for any world to get a call from the United States, somebody Pentagon, who says, hey, you have a bunch of terrorists congregating somewhere in your country. We're going to come and kill them unless you tell us not to.
Yeah, and Peter, so I was
Right,
looking
that
just
part.
now at the United Nations social media accounts. I see nothing about this. Ambassador Mike Waltz has been out about it, but nothing from the United Nations. Where were other leaders, not just here at home, the previous administration under President Biden, saying that 18,000 burned Christian churches, 50,000 Christians persecuted in Nigeria since 2009? Where was the leadership before President Trump?
That's a great question, Griff. And
They didn't give a fuck.
speak to the struggle that the United Nations has had over the last couple of years. And that
They didn't care.
His team allude to when they talk about all of these world conflicts that Donald Trump's had a hand in ending since he came back to office. He's been back for less than a year. The nations didn't go anywhere. They've been around and have started, wars have continued, and so that's a real problem that the UN has right now.
Yeah, let me share this really quickly, Peter. This is Ambassador Waltz. He said, Merry Christmas to the Christians in Nigeria and around the world who know tonight that the President of the United States will fight for them.
Key. But I remember a month ago, that very government denied that there was even
Trump and the U.S. bombed Nigeria on Christmas Day. The claim is that it was a retaliation for terror attacks against Christians on Christmas Eve and to protect Christians from further persecution. Contrary to what
have you believe this is a moment for Nigeria and West Africa? Why foreign military?
Come on. Oh.
Is that it was a retaliatory attacks against Christians on Christmas Eve and to protect Christians from further persecution. Contrary to what many would have you believe, this is a dark moment. Area that stretches across Africa from east to west. It includes Mali, Niger.
Come on, what's the problem? All right, I'm sick of StreamYard now. It's been doing good all day. Now it's acting up. I'm almost through with this.
To diffuse any if this is a dark moment for Nigeria and West Africa. And I'm going to explain why foreign military intervention, especially from America, is more dangerous than any. Found out about the strikes at 4 a.m. in the morning. I immediately made a video but didn't release it because it was filled with emotion. It's not every day you wake up to hear America bombed your country. It was specifically the northwestern parts of Nigeria and Sokoto. This is important because it's technically in the Sahel, the area that stretches across Africa from east to west. It includes Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, which all had recent coups and are vehemently anti-US, France, and the West. Now, are there Christians who have been targeted by extremists in the North? Yes. Are Christians the only victims of extremism in the North? No. The framing of this as a crusade to save Nigerian Christians is propaganda. It's designed to diffuse any pushback from the global community, specifically black community. An imperialist force, white people dropping bombs on black people. Horrible optics by today's standards. Now it's okay. Why? Because the targets are the bad guys persecuting Christians. I told you in my State of the African Union address at the start of the year, 2025 is when Africa rises. I was more than right. What's happening is not an accident, and I'm deeply concerned for the future of Nigeria and West Africa as a whole. Can you tell me one time in history the US has launched bombing strikes or become entangled in African affairs militarily when it ended well for Africa in the long term? Do I need to remind you of Libya, Somalia? This is a precursor to a US military base in Nigeria. That's a matter of time. Any Nigerian allowing their anger with Tinubu or the Nigerian government to cloud their judgment is making a grave mistake. America is not our ally. America is America's ally. And you know who taught me that? Black Americans. because they know the most about how America operates, which is why I continue to champion shared knowledge between us. This is the start of a 7-part series on this situation, and I will take you step by step on how to process this most pivotal time in West African history. In the next video, I will tell you why Trump had to strike Nigeria on Christmas Day. And no, it had nothing to do with righteousness. Let me know in the comments, and remember to subscribe, follow, like, and...
Well, he got a point. I cannot deny what he's
Let
saying.
me know.
Deny what he's saying. He does have a point.
An alleged President Donald Trump has ordered what he calls powerful and deadly strikes against an Islamic state force in Nigeria. The president took to his truth platform showing that the strike targeted terror and then double saying that the group was committing hate crimes against the innocent. The U.S. African Command assures that Nigerian authorities were aware of the strikes. The Nigerian Prime Minister himself released a statement denying military action. People living in the area, however, say that there's about recent events.
They are intruding. They are intruding. Every country has the liberty of making their own decision.
President Donald Trump has ordered what he calls powerful and deadly strikes against an Islamic.
Hit the wrong button as usual.
I got a bone to pick with many of you. If you say that you're a Christian, but you're angry at Trump for launching airstrikes against ISIS for persecuting and unaliving Christians, mad at that in the name of Americans or us, but yet you say that you are in Christ, you're not. I'm going to tell you why. Because when you go to the book of Acts, see that when the Apostle Paul, formerly Saul, was persecuting Christians, what did Yeshua say to him? He said, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? He took it personal. He takes it personal anytime a believer is persecuted, even though his distance and it happened to it is still his personally. And if you claim being religious, don't take it as he does, congratulations. You do not feel his heart, you do not feel his emotions, and you are not connected to the body because you don't feel it. If I dub my toe on, it's gonna hurt. It is going to hurt me, all right? It may not hurt my hand directly, but it can and will affect my hand eventually if I break my toe. If I break my elbow, actually, right? Because if I can't walk, it's going to affect my elbow, and even some of the nerves in my body are gonna go off. It can cause me all types of trouble throughout my body. But if I stub my toe or break my arm, and you're standing over there and you don't feel it, it's because you're not connected. It's because your arm is not my arm. Your leg is not my leg. In the same way, all this stuff can go on over there, but it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't harm you. You don't feel it directly or indirectly. It's because you're connected to the body. Think about that, all right? You don't need to be about be happy that. Be happy helping brothers and sisters. If you're not one, you won't feel it. If you are one, you'll feel it. If you like Bible content like this, you can follow for more as always.
That, hey, I agree. Now, this Nigerian separatist leader sentence.
Today we forever live in infamy. Today is the only day we man being convicted for what is not consistent with the evidence before the court. The sentence is overbroad, cruel, and unusual. We must not compromise the security of the country on the basis of those primordial sentiments. To deal with terrorists, to deal with criminals.
Well, Nigeria.
So Trump gave the green light to strike ISIS targets in Nigeria yesterday on Christmas Day. In this year alone, we've been active in Syria. Some activity take place in Iran. You guys can remember what place over there is rising with Argentina. We're stretched so thin, in my opinion. Right now, I am not an analyst or anything like that. Pay attention to history. The great empires, the great civilizations, such as Rome and Greece, when it ended up suffering by the fact they were everywhere. Too many places. The Bible tells us there's nothing new to sin, and history may not, but it does certainly rhyme. I just don't think it's wise that we are in all of these conflicts. I know a lot of people feel that way as well. And what's happening over there toward the Christians and what's happening in some of these other locations, I think that these people are not making these moves out of the goodness of their heart. There is a economic, capitalistic factor toward all of this. So Trump gave the green light to strike ISIS targets in Nigeria.
Well, that's true as well.
So maybe Ebo Noah wasn't
Now,
entirely wrong.
these
Because
are
something did come
expected
to
floods,
Africa.
8 buildings burn in
It just
Lagos.
wasn't rain or snow, and the people were not prepared. 8 buildings burned down in Lagos, Nigeria, in one of the busiest places in the town.
Look at that shit.
Yeah, this is no small blaze, man. There's no quick blaze. This fire is so bad it has been burning for 3 days straight. Look at all that smoke. And it's unsure right now, unclear of how many people have passed away due to the smoke inhalation and this fire. Look at that thing is burning. I wish that I could even tell you that well, they didn't even have that much firefighters. I think they only have one fire truck, and they had to get the citizens to help them put out the fire. But 8 buildings, you guys, in one of the busiest areas in Lagos, Nigeria, where they conduct business.
This is Ojo Lasisi reporting live from Oluwole/Tom Jones Junction. What started yesterday from the fifth floor of Great Nigerian House has now extended to the entire building and some parts of Oluwole and also 2 buildings that are directly beside Great Nigerian House. As you can see, there are lots of traders out here. In our captors that
Wow.
the fire has also affected this building. This is the urban mall.
Wow.
So maybe Ebo Noah.
52,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. $19,000 churches burned.
Ready to dominate your industry with strategy.
Nobody know where I'm at. What I got
This
going
is
on.
African
You know where I was raised?
diaspora news.
Grandparents. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Stop talking so much. Black folks got that bad. You talk. You say everything, good or bad, on these platforms. I talk a lot too, but I don't really say a whole lot. Not stuff what I'm doing. I'm talking about inner workings of my personal life. It's no, not having a camera and I go show it. No. And that's your problem. You talk too much on these, and then you wonder why these governments coming at you now. Like, I don't know, but you should be tricking. Find you a decent woman somewhere. If you do that, don't do that. That's not.
Let me get to the thing.
Things happen in Nigeria, but how you gonna go over there doing something to them? You should be going and bomb these little training camps. White services going on teaching all that mess. Y'all know, yeah, y'all infiltrate them. Why don't you bomb in them? That's what I have. All these mass shootings every freaking week. And that is considered terrorism. What happens with Connor and nothing about that now. It is a freaking epidemic. Why are you worried about what Nigeria got going on? It has nothing to do with this country. And even your voters. You want to say, wait a minute, what Nigeria got to do with this country? That's not America first. We don't care about what happens with Nigeria. That's their business. And MAGA would be actually right about that. It's their business. But it's something more to it than that. We're gonna get to that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go look at the first article we want to look at here. No, let's go to executive order. Now, Nigerians, America, and Nigeria yourself. Before we get to the airstrike that happened on Christmas, let's look at how Trump was talking about y'all. Now, this from the restricts and limits the entry of foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States. It was just put out on the 26th. So he said here he strengthened national security through common sense restrictions based on data. Let's say Trump signed a proclamation expanding the strengthening entry restrictions on nationals from countries with demonstrated persistent and severe deficiencies in screening, vetting, and information sharing to protect the nation from national security and public safety threats. As the proclamation continues, it says the full restrictions and entry limitations of nationals from the original 12 high-risk established under Proclamation 10949, Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, which is an African nation, Republic of Congo, African nation, Equatorial Guinea, the only Spanish-speaking African nation, Eritrea, East African nation, Haiti, we know that's in the Caribbean, Iran, that's an African continent. You know, they don't want the Somalis here. Sudan, Myron Gaines people, let's say, and Yemen, okay? They don't want them here. In addition, it adds restrictions and entry limitations to 5 additional countries based on the recent analysis. Burkina Faso, that's Captain Ibrahim Traore, say Mali, Niger, they have the Sahel states now. They have joined together an alliance, which the white folks don't like that. South Sudan, that's really the black part of Sudan, and Syria, okay? It also adds full restrictions and entry limitations on individuals from holding Palestinian Authority issued travel documents. So they don't want the Palestinians over here either. And entry limitations on 2 countries that were previously subject to partial restrictions, Laos and Sierra Leone, another African nation. Okay? So in Nigeria, United States Security Corporation, Intelligence Collaboration, Terrorist Talk. This is from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja, okay? The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Nigeria confirms that the Nigerian authorities remain engaged, in a structured security operation with international partners, including the United States of America, addressing the persistent threat of terrorism and violent extremism. This was led to persistent terrorist targets in Nigeria by airstrikes in the northwest, in line with established international practice and bilateral understandings. This cooperation includes exchange of intelligence, strategic coordination, and other forms of support consistent with international law, mutual respect for sovereignty, and shared commitments to regional and global security. Now, Nigeria reiterates that all counterterrorism efforts are guided by the primary of protecting civilian lives, safeguarding national unity, and upholding the rights and dignity of all citizens, irrespective of union. They say, hey, we got this issue. What countries can we unite with right here in the African Union and help us in Nigeria? They didn't go to the African Union. They didn't go talk to the other brothers around them. They didn't do any of that.
Well, he wasn't going to do that.
Same problem. And you wonder how we got in slavery. That's how we got in slavery, right there. And you know why? You know why the Ethiopians didn't get put in slavery? Because when I went to Ethiopia the first time, when I went to the museum and found out the story, they tried the same thing to the Ethiopians.
There is no way out anymore. They no longer have a way out. They no longer have any alternative.
Now that they have started to impose on them, the only way it would be for them to run out of immediately and for them to go to Belarus if they want, or go to North Korea. But if they go to Nicaragua or they go to Cuba, no. Russia does not.
Oh yeah, this is yeah.
Flat out. The kingdom, the Arab Emirates, do not want them. They said they would have. Now that they started to, the only way would be for them to run out of and for them to go to yeah. But if they go to Nicaragua or flat out does not want them. They said maybe as a big favor to us. Another place. There is no way out anymore. They no longer have a way out. They no longer have an alternative. Now they have started to impose on North Korea. Immediately, and for them to go to Belarus if they.
You know what? Let me close this on.
Immediately.
Okay, let me do that. All right, now.
Important stories of the entire year. On Christmas Day, a news story, of course. I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm talking about the extermination of Christians.
Oh yeah.
The extermination of Christians in Syria, I was pointing out, in Africa, and other parts of the world where Christians are being not just, being prejudiced against or any of that kind of stuff. They are being exterminated. Over 100,000 so far.
Yeah.
That's just the number we know of. So we have a president, I think we all know the proclamation, that we have one of the best presidents for our country, but one of the presidents for faith, for Christians. And he actually took action. On Christmas Day, he went into Nigeria and bombed those ISIS terrorists and other fanatical people that are killing Christians. No one's taken any action ever.
Not only action, but you don't even see it really reported in the media. As a matter of fact, there is a cut that I've got for you, Ben, if you want to play it. Cut number 4. This is a Nigerian pastor actually pleading for President Trump to take some action and try and help. This is cut number 4. You got to see this for yourself. Cut 4.
We are tired to be outside performing burial every day. And they expect us
He's basically standing over dead bodies.
It's an order. Nigerian government, there is no massacre, there is no genocide in Nigeria. If they say they kill Muslims by Muslims.
Yeah, so there he is pointing out the the slaughtering of Christians, and they talk about killing Muslims, but the Muslims are killing Muslims.
The thing is, this is no different than the Nazis killing Jews in a Holocaust, because there was a religion. Obviously, that's what happened in World War II, and they exterminated Jews systematically. That is what's happening. And does it just so happen that they're Muslims? You don't see any other group or sect killing Christians. They kill them because they believe that if you're not Muslim, you're dead. And Donald Trump, give him some credit here, folks. He not only took action, but the criticism I saw this morning about, he sent bombs on Christmas Day. What better day, right, to make killing Christians than on Christmas Day? Right. The birth of Jesus, and then at the same time killing Christians who are worshiping. Good job, Donald Trump. That's awesome. You did exactly what one of us would have done to try and help and support and Catholics and anybody of worship the parts of the big story. I have what I view as one of the most important stories of the entire year.
So apparently the Nigerian tax agency, the Nigerian version of IRS, now has the power to create its own police to arrest investigate, and sell any assets you own without a court order. No judge is needed. That
Damn.
Can just yeah, I'm saying. With this guy, or he's a family
Wow.
member, and somebody else some shit wrong. All I gotta know this guy, hey, I want the police. They will create bogus fucking defaults, and they will snatch that property and they can sell it to me for $5.
Damn.
No judge is needed. It's not. Kenyans rose up and they tore their up. They burned down the houses of fucking
Sure did.
senators. They were the fucking
They
senators
did.
that say Holy Ghost fire. The Muslims are going, Ya Allah, but Imam said alone. Imam said we should not touch. Imam said we should not do anything. This is the whole agenda. You will own nothing and you will be happy. The whole point is
Facts.
in the year 2030.
Facts.
You need to make sure that nobody has anything.
Facts.
You need to make sure that your entire survival, your food, your sleeping, everything is dependent on them.
Facts.
Now, see, Africa has the capability to remove itself from the global population in the sense that right now there are more Africans that live off of their land than any continent in the world. Nigeria, they've stopped that. Now Nigerians are afraid to farm because once you start farming, bandits are coming over to kill you. You will only be.
Damn.
They're just so stupid. They don't understand that everything that's going on in Nigeria is coming from the white man. And this is why I don't care. The Igbo people will never understand. Never. Everything going on in Nigeria, your hatred, there's a group that has understood your hatred and will use that to destroy us for the rest of it. I made a post about Somaliland. The entire comments is Igbo people saying, thank God Israel recognized Somaliland. Next up, Biafra. In that Biafra, you will own nothing. Fucking idiots. So, apparently...
Wow. I'm going to have to keep this. I'm going to have to keep this. I did not know that was happening. Oh, wow. That's deep. I think this is going to be my last video. Then I'm going to have to do a celebrity. Oh, shit. Yep, I think that's... Oh, hell. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. I already talked about that.
Of what the US did for Nigerians. Do you know that there was supposed to be a mass attack yesterday night, 25th of December, in the night? Do you know that there was a mass attack? That attack that the US military had on these terrorists was deceiving us. Because they did not expect it, they did not see it coming. Those of you that are arguing, was there genocide in Nigeria? Is there no genocide? Do you know that there were some people from the US in Nigeria that were investigating? They've been investigating these things for months, and they've gone back to the US to report that truly there's a genocide. Not because this is what they do for social media, where this person goes say there's genocide, this person goes say there's no genocide. That's not it. There have been people in Nigeria that have been investigating these things since. They don't go different villages. They walk underground, they ask questions since. And they have piled up their result and their report, and they've gone to submit it. And they say from what our eyes see, from the villages where we go, they don't make videos, see the skull of people, see houses that have been burned, see churches that have been burned, see grave, see the people name to show say this person name. We are not seeing Abdullahi there, we are not seeing Usman, we are seeing purely Christian names. They've gone to the grave of up to 500 people in Plateau State. So when they write the report, they say, yes, we don't go, we don't see. Say, truly, there is genocide of Christians happening in Nigeria. You think it's just about what we are saying on social media? They've conducted everything. Now, so earlier, I told you people this thing that there's supposed to be a mass attack Christmas Day. And
wow.
honestly, as I did how say,
So she thanked Trump. Oh yeah. Oh, that's that Joshua. Okay. Okay, that's that part. Okay. I had to see what was going on. Okay, I can delete this. All right, I'm going to end it there. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button.